Undertale Yellow. Oh man. Let's make this quick. Undertale Yellow is a fan game where you play as the soul before Frisk, Justice, or Clover if you want to use their real name. However, in every single battle, I will be continually holding down the X button, which makes you move at half speed. I will be playing through the genocide route because I ain't no pussy, and I already beat the pacifist route on my first playthrough and didn't feel like playing it again. Linked here if you want to watch that unedited. Time to find out if you can beat Undertale Yellow at 50% speed, and make sure to like and subscribe if you liked the video or want a future challenge video like this one. So when the game starts, I just start killing. A lot of killing. For those who don't know, to get the genocide route in any Undertale game, you have to hunt the enemies to extinction. Like actually. You have to keep grinding out battles until there is literally no one left to fight you. Also, this video is basically just going to be me jumping from boss to boss because none of the normal enemies pose any threat. Oh, I have to kill Noisebat. Aw, man. So, the first boss, or I guess they're just a mini boss, is Decibat. They were pretty simple, although I did get knocked down to 8 HP before murdering them. Yikes. Sweet silence. Oh, that's fucked up. After that, we get to walk around the underground some more, do some puzzles, and low-key stalk the next boss. Also, by this point, I've killed every enemy in the underground already, so I'm not getting any more encounters. The first real boss of the game, hello my vampire friend, Dalv the Vampire, who has some real deep lore, but let my past self give you the abridged version. I don't want to fight, but you've invaded my home. Blah blah blah. I suck your blood. I suck your blood. I don't know how to do the vampire thing. So Dalv is a depressed dude who uses lightning to attack. Luckily, he gives you ample time to dodge his attacks. For the lightning Zeus throw, you have to bait the bolts so that you can dodge them last second. But other than that, none of his attacks really posed any threat. I have grown awfully tired, but if I sleep, then wake up, this won't be undone. So maybe I just won't wake up. Yeah, no shit, you're not gonna wake up. You just got fucking murdered. Oh, I can go in his bedroom now. Nice. With a little help from Flowey, we can break out of Dalv's house and continue into Snowdin. But not before Flowey warns me that killing everyone is probably stupid. Also, Flowey tells you to subscribe and like the video. This is 100% in the game and not edited by me in any way. Now that I am in Snowdin, I go ahead and play some cups and then murder every single person in this town. Which of course leads me to the next boss, Martlet of the Royal Guard. Martlet uses her feathers to attack you, so it's a damn miracle she's not plucked bald, but maybe she stores all the feathers that fall off her or something. Also, the genocide version of Martlet is the most difficult. During the pacifist or neutral route, she has less projectiles, and her attack speed is much lower. Martlet is also the first boss of many to come with a problematic moveset. The gust you're currently watching is literally unavoidable. You have a 50% chance of any item falling in your direction, and if you make the wrong coin flip, it's game over for you. This move in particular is super annoying because it's basically just feather landmines that move faster than you, so if you don't know where they spawn, you just get shafted. Unfortunately, because I'm not a god gamer, this pattern of getting fucked by a bird's feather went on for quite some time until, finally, I got the run. So here's the full run at 800% speed. I don't really have much to say, and you can see I'm still getting hit pretty consistently, but staying safe enough to keep popping heals. A big thing I noticed throughout this challenge run is you don't ever get some perfect play. You're always barely scraping by. Also, on this fight, I got pretty lucky with what direction a lot of the objects fell, which lets me use significantly less heals than I normally would towards the earlier parts of the fight. With our first Royal Guard defeated, we're off to the Hotlands, where my cowboy aesthetic can truly shine. The Hotlands aren't any different than the previous areas in terms of difficulty, but I do get to murder the cute little blobs. So this is where we meet our next mini-boss. He's the opposite of Decibat, and likes to dancey dance and be loud. Unfortunately, I don't feel like dancing today. Next up, I have a totally fair duel, where I outgun the sheriff of the town, and for some reason this character Soroba is very unhappy with what I've done. And fucking bum rushes me. Soroba is the next boss, and her gimmick is that all of her red moves lower your max HP. This means if I get hit by any red move, no amount of healing will be able to recover it. So every Soroba fight starts off with the Bum Rush, which is just a barrage of lasers and diamonds that if you get hit by them, freeze you in place. Next up, we get a black hole move that restricts your movement almost completely since we're already moving at half speed. Luckily, you can just barely slip through the petals when they get sucked in. Then we get another barrage of lasers and freezy diamonds before turning into a bullet hell sim. This next attack is one of the hardest because if you don't react perfectly, you will get hit. After every implosion of the petals, they will either release an orange or blue shockwave, and you have to memorize whether to stop or move accordingly. Next up is one of her easier moves where you just have to avoid a clump of swirling petals. Her pillar move is super easy to memorize, and almost always a freebie move that lets me get away with not healing this turn. The cycle then repeats until we get Soroba to half health. The moment Soroba goes below half health, she starts hitting you with a barrage of lasers and petals and also turns the arena border into an attack as well. So if you touch any walls, at any time from this point forward, your max HP will lower. The cycle of her attacks also starts again from the very beginning, but now an upgraded, more difficult version of each attack. You'll also notice the order in which the shockwaves come out of the implosions are different during the second half of the fight, so your muscle memory will fail you unless you have memorized both patterns. Luckily, the pillar attack is still a complete freebie, and I can always get past it taking minimal damage. Also, the black hole move has now completely switched around, and instead of sucking you in, petals fly out from the center. This cycle loops until you defeat her, which I inevitably do. Let's fucking go! Holy shit. With Soroba defeated, we leave the Hotlands and enter the Steamworks. Let Flowey know I'm on my mewing streak. Bye-bye! And finally, face Axis, boss of this area. Fun fact about Axis is his fight is flipped from what it would normally be, since he has the garbage can to block your attacks. This means this fight is an endurance challenge. I'll be going through every single one of his moves, much like I did Soroba. His first move are lines of blue and orange attacks that intersect, forcing you to move and stop within a short period of time. His second move is almost identical, except the amount of area that is safe to traverse is reduced drastically. He then pulls out the bombs, which ordinarily wouldn't pose any threat, but since I'm at half speed, these bombs require near perfect movement to avoid. He then does another bomb attack, but also includes these bouncy balls. Since the amount of bombs that appear is significantly less, I'm able to avoid them when they do spawn, and the balls aren't a threat. Next up, more bombs, but included with movement rays, which really fuck you up since you need to move a very specific way to avoid a bomb. Now, the 2 turret phases. Attack 1 using the turrets is very easy, and all you need to do is move to one of the sides of any oncoming turret. Attack 2 is where I get fucked up. The turrets will flash randomly, and whatever the turrets flash last on is the position they will fire. Now, we're on to the final 2 attacks, which are also the hardest. They are literally impossible to avoid. This was something I was afraid would happen during the entire run, and it finally did. A truly unavoidable attack that could kill you in 1 turn. Luckily, I'm a god gamer and figured out that while the attack was unavoidable, you could delay the attack just a little by moving far enough where it had to do 2 dashes to attack you every other pounce. With this method, I was able to scrape by with 1 health, like something out of a movie. By the way, I want you to know this was incredibly difficult and took over like 8 hours to complete, but I figured it'd be like redundant to show you me dying on the final move 1,000 times. And with that, the game is beaten. Technically there is 1 more boss, but it changes the fight into a shooter, so you literally can't hold down X to move at half speed. If you enjoyed this video, I also have another challenge video where I beat Cluster Truck without jumping, so you can check that out here. Thank you for watching all the way through, and I'm sorry about the audio. I decided to record natively in DaVinci, so that's why it's crunchy. Anyway, I'll see you next time. I got more shit to edit.